let's look at the oil market. Between 2009 and 2015, U.S. oil production increased by roughly 4 million barrels per day. What is that equivalent to? Well, it's equal to the entire oil output of 4 members of OPEC: Ecuador, Indonesia, Libya, and Qatar. What about the gas market? Over a decade, between 2006 and 2016, U.S. gas production increased by roughly 30 billion cubic feet per day. We're now producing about 80 BCF a day. That increase, again, just the increase in domestic gas production, thanks to horizontal drilling, long-reach horizontal drilling, and hydraulic fracturing, that increase is equal to the gas output of 4 other members of OPEC: Iran, Algeria, Libya, and Nigeria. What we're seeing truly is a tectonic shift in the global oil and gas market, and it is all the result of hydraulic fracturing and horizontal drilling. Those technologies, of course, are routinely demonized. We've seen fracking bans passed in several hundred communities around the country. But the changes that we've seen in the oil and gas market today are equal to any that have occurred in my lifetime. Now, I have a quick commercial. By the way, I have written 5 books. The latest is Smaller, Faster, Lighter, Denser, Cheaper: How Innovation Keeps Proving the Catastrophe is Wrong. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell all the battery users you know. You don't have to read it, you just have to buy it. I have 2 boys going to college next fall, to private school. Buy it on your Kindle, I make a better royalty. I want to just tell you, I'm working on a new book, tentatively titled Juice: How Electricity Explains the World. For the past 2 years, I've been traveling all over the world looking at electricity markets. Been to India, Lebanon, Iceland. I just returned from Puerto Rico 2 weeks ago. If you want to look at that, you can look at my website, juicethemovie.com, or my personal website, robertbryce.com. So, commercial's over. Aren't you relieved? Someone said yes. He's already ready for cocktails. By the way, I study the New York power market, and it just boggles my mind. Andrew Cuomo has fought to close Indian Point. It's going to close in 2021. It provides 25% of New York City's electricity. It's going to be closed and replaced by natural gas in a state that has banned hydraulic fracturing and is prohibiting the construction of new gas pipelines. How this is good for the environment, how this is good for climate change, I'm just not smart enough to understand. But nevertheless, what we are seeing is states like New York then, on one hand, shutting nuclear plants, on the other, providing big subsidies. So what Cuomo and the Cuomo administration has done in New York is provide subsidies in the form of zero-emission credits to 3 upstate nuclear plants: Ginna, 9 Mile Point, and Fitzpatrick. Now, those ZECs have been upheld in court temporarily. It's great for Exelon. They get about an extra $500 million in subsidies from New York State. It flows right to their bottom line. New Jersey recently passed a bill that could provide subsidies there, but what we're seeing are these carve-outs now, where everyone in the electric business wants their little taste. I don't want a big subsidy, I just want a little subsidy, because I'm special. Special like that Bryce guy who got those subsidies on his panels down in Austin. I want some of that. And in many cases, they're getting them. But these nuclear plants are being closed, and they're not going to reopen. So what does that mean? Excuse me. It means gas. It means that when it comes to the U.S. grid, it's a gas. All the coal plants are being replaced with natural gas-fired generation. And all of the nuclear plants are being replaced with natural gas-fired generation. That's what we saw in New England when Vermont Yankee closed. It's what we saw in California when San Onofre closed, and the New York Independent System Operator in December released a report which said when Indian Point closes, it will be replaced by 3 natural gas-fired power plants now under construction. So there is not just a bifurcation in the global market in terms of electricity, there's some kind of bifurcation happening among the anti-nuclear activists. My view on nuclear is very clear. If you're anti-nuclear and anti-carbon dioxide, you are pro-blackout. I'm anti-blackout. My energy policy is clear. I want air conditioning and cold beer for everybody.